Chinese workers' tent. When Chinese workers first came to the construction site, each person could make $27 monthly, as compared to the monthly payment of $35 for white workers. With the increased difficulty of construction, the salary of Chinese workers increased slightly. Chinese workers lived in simple tents that they set up themselves. Meanwhile, white workers lived in the cargoes provided by the company. Sending wages home. On the railroad construction site, Chinese workers usually worked in teams, and each team had around 20 to 30 people. Each team selected one person to get the salaries for the whole team. They often put money in a straw hat along with a statement in Chinese. On average, a Chinese worker could send $13 to $20 back home each month. Living frugally. From sunrise to sunset for 6 days per week, Chinese workers usually work more than 10 hours each workday. In order to reduce expenditures, they set up simple huts beside the river using timber and adapted to poor living conditions. While working diligently, Chinese workers still kept the habits of living a very frugal and simple life. Chinese grocery. The following image shows a grocery store opened by a Chinese railroad construction contractor. The store clerks worked from 7 o'clock in the morning until midnight. They ate and slept in the store. Their personal goals were to make, save, and send money back home. Chinese workers could mail letters and send money to their families through these stores. They could also learn the news about the community and meet their friends in the stores. Kitchenware. Each team of Chinese workers had a cook. The cooks purchased Chinese food, ingredients, cooking utensils, and tents for the team. The cooks were paid by the Central Pacific Railroad Company. Chinese workers insisted on having traditional Chinese medicine practitioners nearby. This image here shows the cooking utensils Chinese cooks used. The cook. This image shows a Chinese cook going to buy groceries in town. Commonly purchased food and ingredients include shiitake mushrooms, seaweed, enoki mushrooms, goji berries, dried squid, dried vegetables, dried oysters, and dried dates. Compared to the limited options of beef, bread, potato, and butter on the white workers' menu, the Chinese workers ate a bigger variety of food. Additionally, unlike workers from other racial groups who drink faucet water, Chinese workers brewed and drank tea daily. Therefore, Chinese workers were less likely to get malaria. The clay pot. Varieties of food containers were important properties to the Chinese workers. Chinese straw hat. Chinese workers wore straw hats during construction, which can not only provide ventilation but also protect them from the sun and rain. Tools. This image of tools shows the simple tools Chinese workers used when building the railways. The pick. This is an image of a pick the Chinese workers used. The traces of Chinese workers' life. The Museum of Chinese Americans in New York has an exhibition called Grocery Store. It displayed items that had been used by Chinese workers before and were collected from old stores and Chinatowns nationwide in the U.S., including oil lamps, incense, cigarettes, wine bottles, dice, and more. Day off. Here shows what Chinese workers do during their leisure time on Sundays. They did laundry and sometimes gambled using dice. The remains. Some Chinese organizations sent people to pick up the corpses of Chinese workers who died during the construction of the Nevada Central Railroad. They carefully collected the corpses and later sent them to China for burial.